welcome back to the War Room. Today we're looking at the consensus #1 cornerback of next year's draft, Jeffrey Okudah. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, finishing his junior year where he was a starter for Ohio State. Following the format of our first episode, I'll go over some games, I'll show you the tape and then round us off with a discussion on his strengths, weaknesses, where he might end up in the NFL, his draft position and also a player comparison. Let's go. Right, so here's Okudah versus Washington 2019. This was the Rose Bowl game that ended his sophomore year. He made some great plays but also showed some room for improvement as well. Great effort and manages somehow to tackle from a very off position. Love how he just fights the block there. You'll see throughout the course of this video that he's a really great tackler. See Okudah near the bottom here, playing the slot. Plays inside leverage and that's just a no-go. There was almost no point for Washington quarterback Jake Browning to even throw this pass. Alright, on this third play, as you can see, just as the ball gets snapped, you can see there's perhaps confusion amongst the defence. Okudah is turning around talking to his teammate there. He instinctively bails back as he turns his head around to the quarterback, but fails to see the screenplay setting up in the flat. He runs completely wide and he's just too late with no chance of stopping the play. Luckily only 5 yards are given up there. Okay, on his fourth play, Okudah makes a great tackle here, but as you can see, because of the cushion that he gave up here in the short route, he gives up 5 yards, which is no ideal. I have no doubt if he was playing press in this situation, the ball would probably not even be thrown to the side of the field. Alright, so we see the bunch formation on Okudah's side once more. Again, he instinctively goes backwards instead of being more aggressive, but this time after the play action, the quarterback takes off himself. You can see Okudah just kind of stands there in space, letting the play be made, and leaves it up to his defence to make the tackle rather than running up near scrimmage himself. Bear in mind, Okudah is staring down the quarterback the whole time and can see this happening. Alright, so ideally we have Okudah one-on-one here, but an accurate pass here by Jake Brown would have banked a first down. Okudah plays inside leverage and he gives up the out route. Again, he really isn't one for giving up big plays with deep passes, but here he just doesn't really get the most out of using the sideline as help. Watch, the pass just sails it bounds, there's no chance. Okudah is still moving backwards, meaning this really should have been a completion because the receiver was open here. Alright, brilliant play from Okudah here. It's just scary when he trails like that. He's got a tremendous speed and he just breaks on the ball when you think the pass is open. Great recovery and great pass breakup. Good effort here, getting off block, making a tackle. Alright, Okudah doesn't put himself in the greatest position on this play. As you can see, he barely manages to break to the ball, but really just showing off that speed and athleticism here. He still manages to get a hand on it. Great football play by Okudah here. Very high IQ, he just reads the play the whole time and it's just shut down. Once he starts running full speed, that pass is going to be incomplete. Alright, Washington near the goal line here. Okudah, maybe a bit of luck involved, but he always seems to make the tackle, even if just barely. Probably relying a little bit too much on his speed and athleticism, but still a great play to manage to stop the score. Here's one play I loved in particular from Okudah playing Michigan 2019. On the one play I've got on screen here, you can just see it's an absolute blanket from Okudah. Michigan has some nice receivers and Okudah managed to hold up on his own. They pretty much look the other way all game, and if you force your hand, if you can lock down your assignment like Okudah does, that is a nightmare for the opposing offense. Versus Wisconsin 2019, one-on-one with Jonathan Taylor. Okudah rotates and he's playing safety here on this play. I'm not really going to blame him too much on this play. One-on-one with Jonathan Taylor, that is pretty difficult. After this, he was injured through the first half, came back later and helped do his part in a dominant turnaround second half for Ohio State. Like previously mentioned, during his junior year, quarterbacks are just not going to throw near him. I'm not worried about his tackling at all, this is just a mishap type play. Just so we finish off our game tape here. This was Okudah versus Nebraska. He managed to get 2 interceptions. The first one, you can see we've seen this one before. Just excellent, well trailing. So, what makes Okudah the #1 corner of this draft? He's got impressive, very impressive speed and athleticism. His coverage is great and his tackling might be even better than that. You can trust him in the open field to down the ball carrier, which is obviously such a fundamental and importance as a defender. Are there any concerns for Okudah? Well, as he begins his career as a pro cornerback, he's going to have a lot to learn. His shortcomings in zone coverage may stunt him as a rookie. He won't be able to rely on bailing all the time, or relying on his athleticism to overcome his mistakes. The receivers he will be matching up against will prove way tougher than Big Ten competition, to say the least. Also keep in mind, Ohio State's excellent pass rush headed by top prospect Chase Young is always going to be a factor in helping the secondary's coverage. Making sure he uses max effort and keeps himself disciplined while he plays in the NFL will pay huge dividends. Other things I'd like to see improve is ball hawk skills. His playstyle in college is not very aggressive, so that's why he doesn't rack up the interceptions. He's already instinctive, but he's only going to improve as he increases his football IQ in the pros, especially when it comes to different coverages and things that potential coaching staffs will want him to do. Ohio State obviously playing in college, and Ohio State put him in the best positions that he possibly can. But in the NFL, there's going to be a lot of different game plans, different coverages he's going to have to try, different coverages he's going to have to learn and execute. But that is not a huge problem, especially for an elite talent like Okudah. Once he makes the NFL, I'd also like to see an improvement in the use of his hands. Downfield, yeah, he's quite aggressive, but I would like to see him more disruptive near the line of scrimmage. Throwing in some key jams would really add to his overall game and just make him a complete shutdown corner. I see him as a top 10 pick in the 2020 draft, and as it stands, with Detroit at the 5th overall pick at the time I'm recording this, I doubt he drops any lower than that. Cornerback 1 is a huge need for teams, and an elite talent like Okudah is probably not going to wait long on draft night. Just on a personal note, Okudah is probably going to be there when my very own Miami Dolphins are on the clock. I don't think he's the right pick for us. We already have our cornerback 1. Of course it would be nice to get another elite shutdown corner, but we have bigger needs than that. I mean, we have needs all over the team, but taking a quarterback first is probably going to be the main priority. Then, by the time we get to our 2nd and 3rd picks later in the first round, Okudah is going to be way gone, obviously. For player comparison, I'm going to go with Patrick Peterson from the Arizona Cardinals. I've seen him being compared to Patrick Peterson by others as well, and also Jalen Ramsey. I wouldn't go as far to say Jalen Ramsey or compare him to Jalen Ramsey, just because he's not a complete finished product coming out of college here. He's really good at what he does, obviously, and he's slated to be a top 10 pick. He could easily improve and advance to that level if a good team can draft him and coach him up. And he could easily start as a cornerback 1 for many teams in the NFL right now. I just don't think he covers all the bases like a Jalen Ramsey does coming out of college yet. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it. This was my first War Room episode that I've done. Hopefully these will get better and improve as time goes on. I know this one sounded a bit scripted, so I'm sorry about that. But anyways guys, cheers for watching. See you later.